let's talk about Angryman and Jas. I thought this was going to be interesting, and these two are going back on it. And what Angryman is saying is that girls' trips, about women going on girls' trips. Now, again, I haven't heard what he said. I haven't heard his thoughts on it, but I thought it would be interesting because, you know, anytime that Jas is on the panel, she's always going at it with somebody, and so she always saying some crazy shit. But I still rock with Jas, even though I don't agree with a lot of shit that she said, you know. But she might be cool people though. But we'll see. But let's go ahead and rock out, man.
All I'm saying is that if we become married, the dynamic of me or him taking a solo trip or doing things without each other, we don't find that as a couple to be disrespectful. So that's just what I'm coming at. Y'all are saying you need to ask permission to do everything with your man. Men don't ask permission for women to do anything.
Because we're men. We don't have to.
So you're not
we're
religious,
men,
right?
We don't have to. We're not the same. You're women and we're men. You're not the same. And no matter how much the world wants to change and try to change everything, no, you don't get to do that. Okay? Because when it boils down to it, if you're in any type of situation where you're in trouble, we're the ones that have to stand in front of you and put ourselves in danger to protect you. You don't get to be in charge if we have to sacrifice our very livelihood to make sure you're safe. And this lie that you sitting up here telling, oh, well, women go on girl trips to be whores, period.
That is so immature and narrow-minded thinking.
Okay, all right, hold up. I gotta say it. I don't think that's always the case. That when a lot of these women go on girls' trips. Now, if they're all single, that's a whole different conversation. But I will say I don't think it's always the case, but I do think majority of the time it is the case. So I'll land it there.
You don't have any proof of that. I've been on several girl trips. Like, stop projecting your own insecurities. You don't know what the fuck.
One second. Let him finish and then you can. 1 second. Let him finish.
Girls trips to be
whores. This guy's corny as hell. He has no idea what he's talking about. No, they don't.
Things that
no, they don't. No, they do not. Y'all are talking about a particular type of bullshit.
Hey, 1 second, please. I'm not being
fucking idiot.
1 second, please. I'm not being accused of being a sim today. I'm not being accused of being for the brotherhood today. I will let you talk. If anybody interrupts, I'm going to mute y'all and I'm going to drop y'all. Okay? And then I'll bring you back.
Well, again. I was talking and he cut me off, but it's cool. I'm done with
Jas, you've been talking for 2 hours.
That's why I said I'm done. Don't worry about it.
Well, at the end of the day, it's about the whole entire thing. And the reason why there are so many problems with relationships nowadays is because women of today are entitled and spoiled. You think you're supposed to always have your fucking way, which is why if somebody else comes in and starts talking, oh, no, I don't want to hear that. I'm done anyway because you guys don't agree with what I'm saying. Grow up.
I think you should grow up to assume that every girl trip, everybody is fucking. That's a very immature, limited mindset. No, it's not. You sound crazy to assume that every girl that goes on a girl trip is out here on girl trips. That's weird as fuck. All you think about is sex nonstop. You old as hell with no wife, no relationship, and assuming that every woman that's going out of town is fucking. You grow up.
That's the main reason why.
That's a very immature mindset. I've been on several girl trips, and I have never been around women.
Fatty asked you to let the man talk.
I'm sure you have.
I don't give a fuck.
I'm sure you have.
See, this goes beyond the conversation, and this kind of goes beyond the conversation. This is when somebody gets triggered. Shorty, Jas, whole frame. I get it. You get triggered, you don't agree. That's fine. Whole frame. If you're as feminine as you say that you are, sit back, just listen. Listen with intent. If you got to take notes, take notes. But to constantly, oh well, I don't agree with it because everybody don't do it like this and everybody don't do this. When I go on girls trips, nobody said that it was you, Jas. That's just like when you hear a lot of women that sit up and say, man, a lot of these niggas out here broke. If you ain't broke, so why are you putting yourself in the conversation if you know that you ain't a broke motherfucker? If it don't apply, let it fly. If you know that you aren't the type of woman that go out there and become a thought when you go on these girls trips, he ain't talking about you. Remove yourself out of the situation. If you know that your homegirls that you go on these trips with aren't doing it, remove them out of the conversation. Of course he ain't talking about you. Even if he say, oh, you know that you ain't doing it. You know this. Why can't we understand? Why don't we have critical thinking skills? Why don't we understand that? If nobody's talking about you personally, if nobody say, hey, Jas, you are the one that goes out there and you the one that be spreading your legs open and be giving the box. Why can't you understand that? Why do you always have to inject yourself in the whole conversation? Nobody said you. Nobody. He's just talking about women in general. If it don't apply, let the shit fly. We know all women ain't hoes out here, bro. We know that. We ain't dumb. But we know a lot of these girls ain't saints either. We know that. Wild.
Wait, hey, Angryman, 1 second. And this is what I'm talking about.
Because he said, I'm immature. That's an immature mindset to assume.
Jas, 1 second, Jas.
Goofy.
Jas, you've been saying things that we disagree for hours. Nobody is calling you names. Nobody is saying that but that's the thing. If I say most men in bachelorettes are going to get that rubbed by a random stripper, if it's not me, I'm not going to say that's immature. It's not me.
What I'm saying.
No, just stop. If you go to Ibiza, if you go to Miami, if you go to Las Vegas, if you go to these places where women go to celebrate girls' night out, half of them are wilding. And it might not be you it might not be you, Jas.
But here's the thing though. Here's the bigger thing. What they don't understand is that most of these niggas be experiencing this shit. They be outside. They see it. Like, look at these hoes over here, but these bitches over here thotting. Look at them. Check them out. Look how she all up on that nigga over there. Look how she touching up all on this dude over here. She don't even know that nigga. How many times have we gone to the club, dog? How many times have if any man disagree with me, cool. How many men? Just put a 1 in the chat. If you're a man in the chat, put a 1 in the chat. How many times have you gone to a club? And if you went to college, how many times have you gone to a club or you was at a house party that was a college party and you seen chicks just fucking off and making out, doing whatever they will with some dude that they barely even fucking know? They ain't dating them. They ain't doing none of the above. They probably was dancing for a little bit. And next thing you know, you see their ass kissing, hunching up against the wall. And you see them duck off, go to a room somewhere, go in the car, whatever the case may be. But you've seen it happen before. Put a 1 in the chat. Put a 2 in the chat if you think I'm capping. If you've never seen, put a 2 in the chat if you've never seen it happen before, or you don't think it ever happens. Put a 1 in the chat if you've ever seen it before, if you've ever seen it happen before with your own eyes. I'll start it off. I'm gonna put a 1 in the chat because I have seen it before. To say it's immature, to say it's immature is definitely disingenuous. That let me know you really ain't outside for real, or you weren't outside for real. Because we didn't seen it. Niggas just don't make up shit out of thin air. We ain't just making up shit. They either experienced the shit or they saw somebody else. They either saw it from a third person perspective.
You might be the responsible girl that is outside, you drink very few, you don't dance on people and all that. But if we make a statement that most of these women that are going on girls' night house are not just going there for the music, like they say,
facts,
for drinking, they are going there for getting attention from men. drinking skimpy for men to look at them and all that. And you're saying that's
I'm sorry, I'm gonna let her keep playing. She's still thinking from the perspective of herself. That's the problem when Jas is having these conversations. She can't get out of the mind of herself. I don't think Jas experienced life a lot. What I'm starting to realize is that Jas probably was sheltered. She probably, which is good though. Here's the thing, that's good. She was sheltered a little bit, so she a little green when it comes to these conversations. But she tries her best to try to say, I don't believe it, because she only has that small circle of people in that environment that she's around, so she don't see it as often. So I can understand why she's coming from that perspective. But she is green, she is green, she is green, and she needs to stay like that. But what she needs to do is pay more attention and listen, and probably ask better questions too, so that way she can further understand. Because she's still coming from a place of herself, and she's putting herself in that conversation. And so she thinks that the shit that she doesn't do, she thinks that applies to every fucking woman in the world. That's what's going on. Right, exactly, bro. I just think she green, bro. That's what. The more I watch her, the more I'm starting to get. I just think she's fucking green, which is good. So I would take that.
Mature. How is reality maturity?
Because that is not the reality. That is your perception, and you're trying to make it a reality. Sure, there are times where there are women, young women who are hot.
Wait, who is this nigga? That's how I feel listening to this, man.
All of that. But he's saying that every girls trip, women are out here doing that. That is not the case, and that is an immature. That's immature thinking.
What if you say most?
No, I can't. No, it's not most.
How do you know?
How do you know? How many girls?
How do you know?
Yeah, she green and loud. Yeah, she's green and loud, bro. She is green and loud. Green and loud.
How do you know?
How do you know? How do you know? I've been on girl trips. Have you?
No, respectfully.
Has Angryman?
You said these, right?
Okay,
so he gives his opinion. No, Jas is not that. Jas is not that. If he gives his opinion and he's immature, what makes your opinion immature?
Because I am not limited. I'm considering the nuance. I can agree that maybe there are some women who go out of town and engage in stuff like that. When they get together, they get all freaky and shit. I get that. But he's making a blanket statement that this is what all women are doing when they go on girls trips, when they go out of town with each other. And I'm saying that is
why you can't take your husband with you.
That is not
why you can't take your husband with you.
It's a girls trip.
All right, okay. I see the perspective that she's coming from and get it. I said it before. Yeah, we know it ain't all women. We know it ain't all women, but again, this is where Jas gets it fucked up too. She gotta understand too. It's like, we know it ain't all women. Even Angryman know it ain't all women. He know this shit. He know it too.
Why you can't take well, check this out. You give up the ability to have girls trips when you get married. Grow the
in some relationships, that's the dynamic, and that's okay. In others, there are thriving relationships where that's not.
Ma'am, you said that you were mature. You said that you were mature, right? So if you're mature, give me an opportunity to make my statements without being interrupted, since you're mature.
Right. Okay. Make sure your statement is mature then.
I don't have to make sure anything.
You should if you're having this conversation, because you already started with an immature mindset.
I'm asking you to be mature and allow me to speak.
You first.
I'm asking you to be mature and allow me to speak. You being mature,
I'm asking you to make a mature statement.
You being mature has nothing to do with telling
me. Make a mature statement, Angryman. Damn.
You being mature it has nothing to do with telling me.
Damn.
You said you have a boyfriend. Boss him around.
Boy,
shut up. Gonna boss me around.
Boy, I ain't gonna boss you around. Calm down.
Yeah, I do think Jas is immature, bro. I do think, I don't know, how old is she, 40 something? To be honest, I don't know how old Jas is for real. I don't know how old she is, but she when she get into these conversations, she really shows how immature she actually is. Hey man, I had to. I got some other things going on later on today. But I always got to show up on Wednesday, bro. I always got to make it happen, big dog. Always got to make it happen. But I do think Jas is very immature. she can get very especially when she disagrees with you. That immaturity comes out. It shit come pouring the fuck out, bro.
You thought you were mature.
Look at it. She can't even have a good faith conversation, regardless if she agrees with this man or disagrees. The fact that you can't even sit back for a second, you gonna say this man said, can you be mature enough to just be quiet and let me get my thoughts off? Can you be mature in that aspect? She can't even do that. She will say something that's mature, and then maybe I won't. No. Give me the respect enough to say my thoughts and say my piece before you try to interject or interrupt me in regards to what I'm saying, just because you disagree with it. Sit the fuck back and be a feminine woman like you claim you are. Be quiet, listen with intent, and then once he's done and he lands his plane, then you can rebut him. Why is that so fucking hard?
I am extremely calm right now.
Yeah, I know. And I'm so crazy. Crash out Jas. Here I go. No, because it's just a lack of patience. You're coming on, you're saying one thing. So go ahead and finish. Go ahead and finish.
Can I speak?
I'm waiting.
Put your mic on mute, Jas.
Thank you. As I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted.
Oh, you see, but look, listen, bro. I got a good memory. I have a really good memory. So you remember when Jas was going back and forth with Pearl, and Jas was going on this whole fucking monologue. She just kept fucking going and kept fucking going. And then Pearl hit her with this. Like, come on, get that shit out. Get it over with. Get it done. And you seen all the smoke that Jas had for Pearl. But yet, Jas just did the same exact thing to Angryman, telling him to do this shit, right? To do this. So it's okay for her to do it, but can't nobody do it to her. Because you see how she snapped on Pearl. But even when Angryman, again, like I said before, trying to tell her, like, hey, man, are you going to let me fucking talk? Or are you going to continue to keep interrupting me when I say something that you don't like? Which one is it? What up, Trees? See, bruh, I'm telling you.
Interrupted.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, doing what you want is for children, not for adults. Once you become married or in a long-term relationship, you give up the me's for we. You give up the I for us. Okay? So if your man says, I don't want you going on a girl trip, if you respect him, you'll say, okay. That's the end of it. It ain't got nothing to do with, oh, y'all insecure and y'all want to boss women around and da-da-da-da-da-da. Grow the up. For the love of God, you and every other woman that operates like that. And to sit here and say that women don't go on girls' trips to be freaky, most of them are down there in Jamaica getting oiled up by some strange dude rubbing on their biscuits. And you gonna sit here and try to tell us like, bro, we not naive. We know what go on.
No, you don't.
We know exactly what go on.
You're talking about an experience in Jamaica that everybody can get. I've seen men getting oiled and mudded up too.
If you go on a trip to Turks and Caicos and your man live in New York, I don't know nobody that can see that far. So he don't know what the hell you doing.
Facts.
He gotta trust what you say.
And what's wrong with that?
My thing is, why even put yourself in a position to where he has to question what you're doing?
But why would he have to question anything if he can trust me? If I'm going to do something, I could do it in town, out of town.
I don't trust nobody but God.
If we have trust in our relationship, it doesn't matter where I am. He can't. I could be cheating on him when I go to work. I could be cheating on him when I go to the gas station. I could be cheating on him wherever. It doesn't matter the location. A cheater is going to cheat.
Yeah,
if you have respect and love in relationship,
okay, but here's the thing.
And love and trust in your relationship, It doesn't matter. That's why my man said, I'm going on a bachelor party. Have fun. Sure, you might engage. Maybe your friend is into strippers, but I trust my man.
Can he go to a stripper club? Can he go to a stripper club? 1 second, Am. Can he go to a stripper club?
Sure.
Let me say this. Hold on. Let me say this. Here's the thing. That was a nice try, but no. There's a huge difference between you going to work, you going to the grocery store, you going to your regular routine. It is much easier for me to notice something is off about what you're doing when you're going to work, when you're going to the grocery store. If you're cheating in that aspect in your everyday life, I'm going to notice something's off. But when you get on a plane and go somewhere else, that's a whole other thing. And then me co-signing it, saying, yeah, go ahead with your homegirls and all of that. When half the time you got homegirls that don't even want you to be with your nigga. Half the time you got homegirls that's trying to get you caught up in some shit so you and your nigga won't be together. So y'all can keep having girls trips. No, so I don't volunteer for that.
Okay, so I understand what you're saying, Angry Man, but you're generalizing something that is not something that's happening in mass, sweetheart.
Okay, fair enough.
So what I'm saying is this: I get it. There are those things that happen, but what I'm saying is it's not the case for all of the time. And you're saying that, well, I'm able to notice a little bit more.
No, what you mean? Why is what edited on Spaces? What you talking about, bro? Why is what edited?
If you're cheating at work, that's what you think. But what I'm saying is, regardless if I'm in the town or out of town, if I'm going to cheat on you, I'm just going to do that. And you may not pick up on it. What I'm saying is, you can't automatically assume.
You say, I hate when women bring in God for a man to not have boundaries. Yep, there goes the same serpent to tell them to bite the apple. The devil know the word. Yep, facts. Yeah, I don't know, bro. I don't know why they edited it out,
out of town with her friends.
I don't know why they did
that is a setup for you to get cheated on.
No. Hey, Jas, you can do that. Like literally last week, you generalized the whole cop community. You said if you're a cop, no, you said if you're a cop, I don't trust you. You literally said that. You didn't say if you're a black cop, tall cop.
But you stand on. See, I didn't even hear the video. But she just confirmed that she did say, well, yeah, I stand on that she generalized all cops. So she continues to prove the case that we all have been saying. And she gets upset when people talk about her. She gets upset at the fact, because I already told her, I said, just lean, if you're gonna lean into it, just lean into the evil character, just be the villain, right? But she continues to shoot herself in the foot. She continues to bite her tongue. She continues to bite her tongue off. The reason is because it's okay for you to generalize things that you feel so passionately about, cops, men, right? You can generalize things that men do. You can generalize police officers, and you stand on that shit. You ain't gonna argue like, nah, you can't change my mind about it. Excuse me. But the moment a man says anything in regards to a woman that may come off as negative, you got a problem with it, and you ready to argue it down 10 toes heavy. Make it make sense, shorty. Make it make sense. If you're gonna play the villain role, at least be consistent across the board. At least be consistent in regards to, okay, well, shit, I did say that, and I stand on that shit too. You right. But I will give her this: she's being consistent in who she's gonna defend. She being consistent in that. She gonna defend women. She will not hold them accountable. I think I did a video last week. Was it last week when I did a video on her? Yeah, I think it was last week. Did a video on her when we were talking about holding the man accountable, and she talking about, oh, well, I do advocate for men. No, you don't. Because nowhere in that video did you say that the woman was wrong and you held her accountable. You didn't hold that woman accountable at all. Anytime it's regarding a woman, you gonna stand 10 toes down. You ain't gonna tell her where she's wrong. You ain't gonna hold them accountable at all, and you are part of the problem.
If I make a statement, you don't have to reply immediately. What I'm saying is that what is wrong with generalizing and saying people will do more risky behavior when they know they can be caught, when there's no friends around, no family around, nobody around. What is wrong with saying yes? If your girl goes to Miami, it's more probable she cheats on you than in Nebraska where everybody knows her.
If you have a girl that lacks integrity and doesn't respect you, sure, you have that. You have to take care of it.
So would that be the same thing with cops? If I have integrity, don't matter if I am a cop.
My thing about cops, I don't trust them, period. But I have, I have facts. I have facts to show.
You got facts. What you mean? So you telling me the shit that Angryman is saying, you saying that he ain't got facts on the shit? Which is the question that I asked earlier. You telling me that he ain't got the facts? You telling me that the shit that these men talk about, you think they just coming out the side of their necks with this shit? You really think that these niggas hadn't experienced this shit to women? You really think these men don't experience women? You think y'all the only ones who experience men and we don't experience y'all asses? Boy.
Here's the thing. Look. Here's my position on this, right? So if I, a man, married you, if I put a ring on your finger, and I'm talking about the kind of ring that every time somebody look at your hand, they like, ooh, like, well, oh my God, like, and I've dedicated myself to you in front of God and everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a provider, I'm a breadwinner, I'm holding it down, I'm laying the proper pipe.
Facts, faces, facts.
And I say to you, I don't want you going on that girl's trip.
Can I ask why?
How you gonna be like, nah?
Can I ask why?
Because I said so.
So that's not a good. Okay.
It
is.
Why? It is. You know why it is? Because did you hear what I just laid out? I'm coming with big energy. I said.
So you feel because you're a provider, you can just say this is what it is and not give her any communicate a reason why.
I'm not saying because I'm a provider. I'm telling you what I'm saying right now. I'm saying because I'm him. It's more than just being a damn provider. It's more than just being a provider. All that shit your homegirls be going through, you don't go through none of that. You straight. You the envy of your homegirls. Like, ooh, he got a brother type. No, when a dude hold it down the way he's supposed to hold it down, and he say to you, nah, I don't want you doing that, you supposed to be like, okay. That's it.
I get what you're saying, Angryman, but if that's the dynamic that works for you, cool. If I said, babe, I'm going on this bachelorette, and he just said, no, I don't want you to, and I ask him why, and he just says, because I said so, that wouldn't work for me. So
I think she's missing it too, because I think I'm gonna be 110% honest with you. In real life, I really do think that Jas wouldn't say anything. She probably wouldn't ask. She might ask like, man, why, babe? Why not? But in real life, if Angryman, the way that he laid everything out, most women, if you are him as the husband, like you really are that dude. You ain't the one that's always saying what you doing. You ain't that type of dude, but you him. You know, when you're quiet most times, but when you speak up, they actually fucking listen, right? When you're that type of dude and you already sent some shit that's off and you say, hey, nah, I don't think you should go tonight. I don't think it'd be a good idea for you to go tonight. 9 times out of 10, she already didn't want to go in the first fucking place. So that's one thing. She didn't want to go. So that's one. But 2, because you normally don't even say nothing, you normally don't tell her no in regards to going somewhere, or you just don't say much. But then when you do decide to speak up, or when you do speak up, she's like, maybe a good reason for it. So you know what? All right, cool. I ain't gonna go nowhere tonight. And y'all kicking it. No questions asked.
That's a relationship I don't understand, because I don't understand why you just can't communicate the why. Why is it just because I'm a man? That's not fair.
Listen, check this out. Life ain't fair.
That's not protection either.
Check this out. Listen. When I first met my wife, we were just dating, right?
Married
you? She had absolutely.
God bless.
Absolutely.
The shots she be taking, that's the shit I be pissing me off. She can take shots at people, but can't nobody take shots at her. many people have said, well, shit, I pray for your, I pray for the guy that you with, because boy, you a fucking handful. She'll get triggered 110%.
Wow. And guess what? And guess what? That woman is in the lap of luxury. She don't got to work if she don't want to. Everything is taken care of. She good. 100%.
God bless you, Angryman, for
100%. So when I first met her, she said to me that her friends was going on a girls trip. And she was like, would I be upset if she went on a girls trip?
Mm-hmm.
I said, no, you can go. You just ain't gonna have no man when you come back.
Mm-hmm. I've heard that before. Well, not to me, but I've heard men say that.
I mean, that's it. Like, I'm not going to see. Here's the thing. This is where y'all get it mixed up about men being controlling. Me saying I want you to do X, Y, Z, and then you say why, and I say because I said so.
Facts.
It's not me being controlling, because you still got an option.
Facts, Matt.
You cannot do it. You cannot do it. You can still do. You can do whatever you want. We just ain't gonna be together after you do whatever you want.
Right. That's not leaving a person an option. That's not giving a person an option.
That is giving them that is giving them an option, but each option has a consequence. Just because no, it's still gonna have a consequence at the end of the day. So if you decide to go, you ain't gonna have a man. But if you don't decide to go, guess what? Consequence, you still got a man. So yes, you still have the free will to make a choice. It's just gonna be if you want to make the right choice, and depending on what that right choice looks like for you.
You're telling them you're telling them we're together, but if you don't do what I say, you can do what you want. But if you don't do what I say, we're not going to be together. Knowing that woman still wants to be with you, she's obviously going to concede. That's manipulation.
Yeah, she's
obviously
doing a lot going on.
She's obviously going to concede to what you say because she doesn't want to
extrapolating that across.
So that's not a real option you're giving.
You're extrapolating.
That's manipulation.
Come on,
you're extrapolating that across everything. I'm not talking about everything.
Leosha got something to say.
Wait a minute. I'm not saying that if you put the freaking toilet paper on the roll wrong and I don't like that, well, we ain't gonna be together. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about serious issues, like you saying you going on a girl's trip.
A girl's issue is a serious issue for you?
Man, Jas ain't gonna never get it, bro. She ain't gonna get it. I don't think she ever gonna get it. I don't think she gonna get it, bro. Hope like I said, bro. I hope whatever she going. I hope her relationship with her dude is phenomenal, bro. Because she don't care about the reason why you're not going to have a man. Going out is more important than why I wouldn't suggest. Yeah, exactly. So she got it. She got it, bro. I'm not. She doing too much. She doing way too fucking much. Way too fucking much. So I want to get into this next topic, man. Before I do, what the hell? Listen, your savings account is robbing you blind. But don't worry, I found out a way how to make my money work for me in my sleep, and I can help you do the exact same thing. Now, this isn't no get rich quick scheme. This isn't no pyramid scheme. This isn't something just trust me situation. This is legit, and this is something that your every average day person can implement in their lives, and they can really get to a bag. This isn't a short-term play. It's a long-term play. There's a promo going on right now, so you definitely want to jump on it before the price goes up because this is too valuable. The link is in the description, and hey, let's get our money up.